Okay, our last two European League phase games today, Trabzonspor and Kopenhagen. Can we end our European League phase completely unbeaten? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Going Pro with me, D-Boy Plays. As mentioned, we've got a double header of European games, and since the last time we met, things have been okay. We obviously played the Spezia and West Ham games. Few league wins and draws to finish off the month. We played well against Soligorsk. A rubbish December. Lost to Atalanta, Roma and Juventus. Did pick up a win against Inter Milan, which was a little bit laboured. And then obviously we beat Maccabi Haifa. And the start of this year, we've had two nice wins in the league. And surprise to no one, we bottled it in the Coppa Italia and we lost on penalties to Frosinone. So there's that. In terms of transfer activity, we have made one signing. We've brought in Fabio Silva. Fans of Wolves will be familiar with this chap. He was on a free. His contract had run out, and no one had picked him up. Although it says here that he's been clubless since the start of the save. That's not true, obviously, because we've added those leagues in recently to sort of, get a wider scope of players. But he was completely free, and as you can see, he's played 2 games for us. He scored a goal. He's not played too bad. Both of them were sub appearances as well. It's not too bad. He's done well for us. Although I think we did start him in the cup game actually, and he was absolutely terrible. Things that are going to be upsetting, I think, may happen soon because. First of all, Nathaniel Nuoso is wanted by PSG, and obviously PSG, they love a wonder kid. They love taking your wonder kids away from you, which is a shame because I was hoping to make him our first team choice when Rizzo chose to move on. There have been bids coming in for Nuoso left, right and centre, but very unfortunately, Rizzo is also wanted by Napoli. Both goalkeepers want to leave, so hopefully not before the end of this episode. Hopefully I can find someone by the end of the transfer window and the prices that we've listed them at get paid. But we may be saying goodbye to Rizzo by the next episode. Hopefully not. I'd obviously love to keep him on at the club because he's one of our own. And he's been with us on the entire journey. In fact, I think he's played pretty much every game for us since we started it. I think he missed 2 games in the league that year due to injury. Played every game in Serie B for us. He played every game the last 2 seasons as well. And he's played every game for us this year as well. So it would be a real shame to lose someone like Rizzo. So hopefully he doesn't leave, and hopefully Napoli find interest in someone else. That all being said, though, let's get into our first game. We're against Trabzonspor. Let's see if we can finish the Europa League completely unbeaten. And, well, there comes another bid coming in. Why do they all want my players? No massive changes, I imagine, from the last time we've seen each other. Rizzo, hopefully these aren't his last few games for us, but he's in goal. We've got Gatti, Botero and Kometio in defence. Roeslev at right wing back. Rico Henry on the left. And Busquets and Krejci taking up the DM spots. Maldini, home and home, making up our front 3. We've done really well in this competition, and the few teams that we've played, obviously the likes of West Ham and it was Feyenoord as well. We thought that we were going to lose those games because they were, they're obviously much better teams than us, but we did well against them. So I'm hoping in a team that looks like it's not quite had enough players available for it, hopefully we can get another 3 points and finish the Europa League phase top of the group. Just looking at that squad as well, the only name I recognise in there is Trezeguet, but that's probably because of David Trezeguet. Look at us go. Beautiful. I think I might call this formation the pine cone. Thoughts down below. Gotta love this theme. So good. And we'll listen to it every time. I'm not even mad. We'll listen to it every single time now. Beautiful stuff. Right. Come on, let's take it to Trabzonspor. Let's try and get a win. I'm curious as to how we're actually going to do in the league this year. On a little bit of a tangent whilst we're waiting for highlights, because we've slipped out of that top 6. We are 7th, which, you know, and isn't too bad, and there's not a massive points gap between ourselves and the top 6. But I do think that we're still not at a level to compete with any of them, based on how we've done this year. And again, losing games to people like Frosinone, I feel like they're games that you should just be absolutely battering. And it's very concerning. And again, with obviously like our best players potentially leaving, is that going to be a penalty? It looked like Gatti got the ball to me, but sod's law, it will probably be a penalty. Yeah, I do think the league is going to be a little bit more challenging for us. No penalty, didn't think it was. Yeah, I do feel like the league is going to be just as challenging as it has been in the previous seasons. And I just, you know, it would be nice for us to finish in and around Europe. But my mind is slowly changing as the season goes on, whether are we actually going to make that or not. We're having quite a few shots, but we're not really succeeding. I'm actually going to change it to work ball into box. Maldini on a corner here, plays it in. Noah Jean home at the back stick, sends it wide. And I imagine at some point as well we're going to need to assess this formation and possibly pick and possibly approach this save in a slightly different formation. Maybe try, you know, a standard 4-2-3-1, or see if there's anything that can complement the team. Keep playing hard though, and the result will come. 0-0 at half time. We've looked like we're the better team. Again, does surprise me that we look like we're the better team, but not because I doubt our ability, because in my head it makes sense that someone like Trabzonspor would be a better team than us. I'm actually going to take off Noah and we're going to bring on Fabio Silva. Give him a little run around, and I think I'm going to take off Slorev for Ryerson. As I feel Ryerson is a little bit better with going forward and being creative. I feel like he's always helped us out in those areas. Odin Thiago home is looking really tired as well, so we might take him off for the next break. Krejci plays it into the box, finds Gatti. It's not good enough, and Rizvan catches it easily. What's he going to do with it? Rolls it out to Gunter. Oh, bad pass from Adem. Krejci back in the mix now. Maldini to home, plays it into Fabio Silva. He scores, but I think he was offside. Yeah, yeah, he's offside. Yeah, 100%. 100% offside. It's been a little bit boring this game so far, hasn't it? Not a lot going on. Yeah, like a foot offside. Never mind. We go again. Suleiman plays it forward. Butera intercepts there. Maldini tries to switch over to home, but Rea controls nicely. Gunter clears. Butera into middle to Krejci. Fabio Silva to Maldini. Surely Maldini. Yes! In off the post. He's been a really good signing, I would actually say. Daniel Maldini has proven to be a very solid addition to our squad. Because he comes up with goals every other game. He's got a couple of braces in the last few games we've played. And whilst he might not be the pinnacle of Italian talent in Serie A, I do think he's a very, very good player, and I enjoy having him in the team because he's good in that final third. He isn't afraid to shoot, and he's very creative. And I think that's maybe credit to our front three as well, actually. They're all pretty good at moving around and, you know, linking up and whatnot. Ball played forward, but Gatti retrieves easily. Back to Rizzo. He plays it to Cometio. In the middle to Busquets. Home on the ball now. Rico Henry into Fabio Silva. Krejci over the top. I think Maldini might have been offside, but if he's not, that's exactly the sort of goal I'm talking about. That's exactly the sort of goal that I'm talking about. He is... yeah, he's pretty good. I'm going to take off home for Salcedo because Salcedo's just come back from an injury and I want to give him a little bit of a run around. And I'm going to bring on Diambo in the middle as well. Because I feel like 2-0 with 15 minutes to go, we may have put this game to bed. And also, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring on Ramos Mingo for Butera. Butera's played very well. I'll give him a bit of a break now. And he can be started in the next game as well. Really nice goal, though. Really nice. Fabio Silva into Krejci. Yeah, lovely played ball. Lovely weighted pass. Sends it round the keeper. Hadn't got a chance. Hadn't got a chance. Tight offside? How tight is this offside? I mean, that is very tight. Oh, that is a very tight offside. But lovely, lovely work from him. And it puts us back to the top of the league phase. Salcedo to Maldini. Into Diambo. Salcedo again. His first touches of a ball for about a month. Silva. Yeah, he's offside. I do worry for to Fabio Silva a little bit because he hasn't played for a while. So I do think he's a little bit rusty in terms of match fitness and whatnot. But hopefully we can build him back up a bit. And he can be a decent backup for Noah Jean Home. Or possibly a first-team player if transfer bids come in for him. Hopefully we don't lose some of our best players, though, this transfer window. Bad touch from Ryerson, and Umut plays it in. Well worked from Krejci to win it back, though. Rizzo to Cometio. And Rico Henry now. Great ball down the line. Is no one going to chase onto it? No, Salcedo just loses concentration. Rizvan clears it. Krejci's there again. Gatti back in the mix. Maldini touches it to Ryerson. Can he cross it in? He can. Oh, Salcedo. I'll let you off, Salcedo, because you haven't played football for about a month and a half. But that should have been a tap-in. That should have been an absolute tap-in. Nice work, though. 2-0 win over Trabzonspor. Can't ask for more than that. Nice win. And I'm wondering, have we qualified already? We must have, surely, because there's no way any teams below us can stop us from qualifying. Yeah, we must be through. Surely we've qualified. Yes, we have. There we go. Vercelli have qualified for the round of 16 of the Europa League, which is amazing to see. Well, what we will do then, let's just do our press conference. Very pleased with the win. Through to the next round. Very nice. What's your analysis of Noji Holmes' profligacy today? I don't know what that word means, but sure. What we'll do then, we're still going to play the Copenhagen game. We'll do the Hellas Verona game away from camera, and then we'll be back for our final game in the Europa League. And then we'll talk about what's going to go on in the next episode. But I'll see you in a moment where we take on FC Copenhagen. Okay, here we go into our second match. We're against Copenhagen. Last game in the Europa League phase. Always difficult to say that. We've already qualified. Where are Copenhagen? They are down in 18th. So they're obviously trying to hang on to that 9th to 24th position. Hopefully we can cause a little bit of an upset and get a big win here. I've just noticed this actually. Jean-Pierre Nsame he's okay. I was thinking, oh, maybe we go for him. He's 33. I'm not in the business of signing people at that age. But 17 goals. Wow. What about Elia? How old are you? 29. Still out of my age range. I'm all about the youth. Fine. Let's get into this match. I don't think anything's really changed since the last one. We've got Home, Maldini and Home up top. Rico, Ryerson on the wing backs. Palumbo and Krejci, maybe that's the change we had. I think we had Busquets in the middle in the last one, just as a bit of rotation. And then Butera, Mingo and Gatti at the back, with Rizzo still in goal. Luckily, the interest in Rizzo has gone, so hopefully we hang on to him. Same can't be said for Noah and Nwosu. Again, hoping no one comes in for them. We're not going to listen to the theme on this one, only because we listened to it on the last one. But every time we get a chance to, we probably should. I was actually scouting Kamil Grabara as a possible replacement for Rizzo. So depending on how he plays in this match, I'll make a decision. Hopefully not too well, because I'd still like to win. Let's get them out there. Have a little run around. I'll see you as kickoff starts. Right, last game in the league phase. Can we finish the group not only unbeaten, but with no draws or losses? That would be a real statement. Arsenal have achieved it so far. They're 2-0 up against Besiktas. Palumbo plays it in. Ramos Mingo. Lovely finish. 1-0 up in the 14th minute. Great free kick cross from Palumbo there. Really nice work. I mean, based on how things have gone for us in this league phase, is it silly of me to be optimistic in the Europa League and think that we can actually go quite far? Because I think that's going to be the plan in terms of our next viewing. We will look at our next game in Europe and we will play that. Of course, there is a transfer window just before that. That's an absolute calamity at the back for Copenhagen. 2-0 up. Yeah, this game's already put to bed. Yeah, I think that the next episode will be whoever we have in the next round. Purely because it's a bit more interesting. We've already showed, like, first season we had the league games, second season we had the cup run, and then finished, with the odd league game in there as well. But let's face it, Europa League's a little bit more interesting as a thing for us. Ryerson's picked up a knock. That's not ideal. But yeah, I think that'll be whoever we end up playing in the round of 16. That is going to be the next episode. Lascelles plays it wide to Alberto Moreno. Lovely link-up play between them. Ragush, good interception from Ramos, and Rico chases it down, keeps it in. Is this going to fizzle out to nothing, or are we going to have a big counter-attack now? Back with Rizzo. He launches it forward. Can Noah get ahead on it? No, he can't. Ramos to Palumbo. He plays it in to Odin. Odin, great pass to Henry in the middle with Noah. What save from Grabara. Absolutely grab-barred it. Really nice stuff, though. I mean, we've only really let them in for one shot, and they've luckily missed it. Henry moving into a little bit of space. Can he find a teammate? No, he can't. He's dispossessed, but Palumbo cleans up his mess. Butera forward. Home to home. That's a bad miss. Oh, and that's a bad miss from Noah Jean home. Oh, good. Maldini's picked up another injury. Oh, God. All right. Well, we'll bring on Salcedo because he does need a bit of match fitness putting back into him. I almost went through the process of thinking, who else do we change? It's still the first half, Dan. Let's not make too many substitutions straight away. 2-0 up at half-time, though. Very, very nice. Very happy with the number of shots. Let's keep that up. Let's press on. Could we get a third? Would that be greedy? Try and get a third goal? Noah Jean Home wants to come off with a bruised ankle. We will take him off in a mumbo. We'll take him off after this Palumbo. Oh, off the crossbar. Unlucky. And Palumbo just sends it out for a goal kick. Yeah, we'll take him off now because I'm not in the business of losing players to injury. Or I don't like to, at least. We'll bring on Fabio Silva, give him a little run around. Because depending on what other teams in Europe do, if they put in a bid for Noah, Fabio Silva might be our starter, which isn't terrible because he is a decent player. But when you've got someone like Noah, I'd rather have Noah Jean Home up front than him at the moment. But maybe Fabio Silva will be an incredible striker for us. If worst comes to worst. I'm pleased that the interest in Rizzo is gone. But I am conscious we do have that transfer window coming up, well, the end of the January transfer window, and I'm a bit worried someone's going to come in for him. If they do, I have kind of got a player lined up. I won't give any spoilers. That's a lovely goal from Fabio Silva. Well, there you go. Proof if proof were needed. I think he could step into that place very comfortably. I'm basing that off his second goal, but it's a lovely finish. And yeah, I think Grabara goes from top of the list of people we were interested in and just disappears off that list. But there is a young goalkeeper I'm keeping my eye on, which we may go for anyway, depending on how transfers go and if we have any money. We'll let this highlight go, and then I'm going to make my final 3 changes. Cornelius. Zimling back to Slopis. Kochalava all the way back to Grabara. Lascelles. Huge ball out to Cornelius. Well cleared by Ramos Mingo. Good save, Rizzo. Cleared off the line. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's not panic. We're going to take off Ryerson for Roerslev, even though he's complacent. We'll bring on Busquets for Palumbo. And last little change, we'll take off Home for Delamorte. And see how he gets on. Yeah, Delamorte with the corner. Can't find a teammate. One thing I was going to say, yeah, it would be really nice to hang on to Rizzo, purely because he's been with us since the start. Same with Same with Delamorte. Both of them have been at the club since the start of the save, and I do like that they've come all the way up to Serie A with us, and that they are certainly with Rizzo a predominant figure in the team. Delamorte is definitely more rotation out. I do believe we've got better players than him to play in that attacking lineup, but he's still a decent squad player, and I wouldn't be unhappy to keep him for as long as we can. It depends whether they want to leave, but yeah, it would be somewhat fairy tale to keep them within our rise. A nice, very nice, I should say, comfortable win against Copenhagen, 4-0 win. Really good, and we have ended the Europa League phase not only unbeaten, but we won every single game. 24 goal difference, 24 points, top in everything. You love to see things like that. Arsenal closing in on us at the end, trying to sneak that top spot, but we didn't give them a chance. Very pleased with the win. Fabio Silva's goal was great. Yeah, everyone played really, really well. And that is where I am going to end things for today. Like I say, what we'll probably do for the next match, because we won't know when it is, will we? Oh, okay, so we're going to basically get the entirety of February out, but that is when we will be back. We'll be back for our 2 games at the start of March. That's all from me, though, today. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to continue this amazing journey that we're having with Pro Vercelli. And like I say, we'll be back for our round of 16 Europa League games. No idea who we're going to get. Can we make it into quarters? Maybe semis? Is it too optimistic for me to be looking at that final as well? We'll see how we get on. Thank you for watching, though. Look after yourselves. I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao, Bella.